Hi, this is a message to everybody regarding something that all targeted individuals should be doing. If you haven't already done this, you should get on this right away as a project that you could do to help yourself and everybody else provide evidence to the government and to especially to the news stations, because if the government, if you've already been emailing the government and have sent them evidence regarding what is happening and they haven't replied to you, then I would suggest that you listen very carefully to what I have to say and send this evidence to the local news. If you have a triaxial meter, it's called a triaxial meter, and this can be used to measure any unusual readings around you or in the place that you're living in, wherever it is. And the triaxial meter can be used to measure abnormal readings that would be indicative of these attacks on all of us in any area that you live in, whether it's hot spots in the place you live, or whether you're taking readings around yourself while these cowards are using this scalar wave electromagnetic technology to attack you. So if you have a triaxial meter, I would ask that you take as many readings as you can that are indicative of these attacks, and I would suggest that you film this and then send this information, send this to both the government and to your local news. If you don't have a triaxial meter, if you know somebody who does, another TI, or if you know another TI who has one, I would suggest that you ask if you can use that temporarily to make the case that this is happening to you for real. And I would suggest you film it live, and show and record these abnormal readings. And then if enough targeted individuals, my guess would be that there'd have to be a substantial amount of them. If enough targeted individuals record this information and these abnormal readings in their dwellings and on them themselves, and send this to your local news and ask why are targeted individuals being dismissed when these readings are clearly showing that the TI is not making this up, and that our five senses can clearly see, or at least more than one of our five senses can clearly see that we're not making this up. So why is it being ignored? Because the TIs are people who, with jobs, with families, who are totally sane, but they're being ignored regardless of what our senses are clearly showing is happening. So you have to ask yourself, why is this being ignored if that's the case? So if you have a triaxial meter or any of these other devices that can measure these abnormal readings that should not be there and yet are there in countless cases, why, if the TIs are capable of doing this on a huge scale, and if they're capable of recording this would make a huge difference in my opinion. So again, if you can get a triaxial meter just to borrow it from another TI, if you're able to do that, or if you already own one, I would suggest you take live, or film this live, record it, and then send it to the local news and send it to the government and ask why is this being ignored, this is how, and say, you know, this is happening, but we've got to get a lot of people doing this, like huge numbers. But thank you for listening.